Welcome to the Word of Mouth. I'm your host, Montrell, and I'm bringing you the word of the day. Word of the day, bells. Not jingle bells, not even rock the bells. More like Expendables. Now, if you remember, Sylvester Stallone brought us Expendables. It started a slew of some of the most epic action heroes from the past and brought them back to the present time where they were just taking names and really just running things and just blowing things up. It was from Jason Statham, Bruce Willis, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terry Crews, just a slew of some of the biggest action heroes. Seems to be the women's turn. Robert Luckett, he's also directed Legally Blonde, Monster-in-Law, most recently Paranoia, is set to direct a movie with some female action heroes that are supposed to do something along the lines of Expendables. Now, the rumor is that the story is supposed to be that when some male Navy SEALs are wiped out from taking out a dictator, they're going to send in some exotic entertainment via private jet to come and entertain him. But what the dictator doesn't know is that these women are actually some spies that are coming to try to foil his plans and take him down. Now, rumored to be in talks to the film is Milla Jovovich. You might know her from the Resident Evil series. Also Cameron Diaz and even Meryl Streep. So how do we feel about this? I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see some sexy women in some nice attire, maybe in a couple of bathing suits, just owning some guys, blowing stuff up, doing some gunplay. I'd love to see that. But at the same time, if I gotta be honest, I gotta see a little bit better cast, especially if we're gonna follow this up to the male Expendables. You know, I gotta have Angelina Jolie. You know, she's certified. You can't do an action movie with females and not have Jolie in there. I gotta have Demi Moore. You know, she's still classy, but she's sexy. She was G.I. Jane, so she's in the running. Who else I gotta have? I gotta have Lucy Lawless. Y'all remember Xena? I mean, she was Xena. You know, what else is there to say about that? Also, I might need Lucy Liu. You know, she's the one who's one of the best martial artists as far as women that we've seen around. You know, and even if I had to bring in somebody new, I'd like to see Michelle Rodriguez. She's been in all the Fast and the Furious movies, and she's been pretty good, and she's pretty tough. Seen her in SWAT, you know, she'll punch a dude real quick, so I think she's got to be in this movie as well. So if we're going to go ahead and do this Expendables, we got to do it right. We got to have a much better cast, but I think the people may want to see this. I may think the people want to see a crew of some women. Also, hold up, Cynthia Rothrock. Y'all remember Cynthia Rothrock from the 80s? One of the best martial artist women. Yeah, also throw Cynthia Rothrock in. She could be the leader of the crew. But might be something that y'all might want to see. All women, all fit, all sexy, and you know what? They doing what they do best. They being action heroes, and they coming to save the day to do a job that maybe a man can't do. I don't know. But hey, you heard it here first on the Word of Mouth show. Up next, we got our 2 cents. Y'all know how we do it. It's going to be my picks for Redbox, my picks for Netflix, and then we're going to talk about them, see if they're good picks. If they're not so good picks, that's where y'all chime in because I need y'all feedback on my picks. That's coming up next. This is, again, the Word of Mouth. Welcome to the Word of Mouth. I'm your host, Montrell, and this edition is our 2 cents. Now, just in case you're not familiar with what takes place in this edition, let me explain it to you. I'm going to give you my picks of the week. First from Netflix, then from Redbox. Then what I need you to do, I need you to view these films and then let me know, were these good picks or were these not so good picks? You can comment, you can like, you can dislike. Just give me that feedback so I know if these were some good picks. So this is going to be our 2 cents because I'm going to give y'all my suggestions and y'all going to give me y'all critique on my views. So let's go ahead and get it started. First, I'm going to have my Netflix pick of the week, Olympus Has Fallen. This is starring Gerard Butler and also Aaron Eckhart. Now, in this film, a group of South Korean terrorists take over the White House and they kidnap the president. Now, the only hope that we have is Gerard Butler, who is an ex-Secret Service agent who needs to foil the plans of these terrorists. Now, if you see this film, you're going to get a lot of action. And I mean a lot of action. Just some straight explosives, some good fight scenes. You're just going to get some good action. You're going to get some great acting as well. So if you're looking for some type of great action film to kick off your night, this is going to be the one that you're going to want to stream. Olympus Has Fallen. Let me know if this was a good pick. And now on to the Redbox pick of the week. My pick for this week is going to be Rush. Now this stars Chris Hemsworth. This is actually based on a real story, a real rivalry in F1 history. Now this is going to be the rivalry between James Hunt and Niki Lauda. The movie is basically a story between how James Hunt would win a lot of races, Niki Lauda would win a lot of races, even after a tragic accident that actually took place. Now this is just leading up to a big final race before the retirement of Niki Lauda. And this is going to be a movie that you're really going to want to see if you're into cars, if you're into racing, action, and if you really just want to see the rivalry in the story between two famous racers and actually what took place and how their lives were kind of just entangled by their professions as race car drivers. Again, this is our 2 cents. So I made the suggestion. I need y'all to let me know, comment, like, dislike. Let me know if you saw this movie and what you thought of it. And if this was a good pick, this would be our 2 cents. That's how it goes, y'all. Again, I'm your host, Montrell. Coming up next, we have Word from the Viewers. I'm going to let y'all know my critique for the movie this week. And then I'm going to talk to some people and I'm going to see what they thought of the movie if they saw it with me. You're tuned in to The Word of Mouth. Welcome back to The Word of Mouth. Now we're going to the Word from the Viewers. This is where I'm going to let you know I viewed The Monuments Men, starring George Clooney, also directed by George Clooney, starring Matt Damon, Bill Murray, and John Goodman. Now this is an actual real tale in history how a team of art appreciators, sculptors, artists, archaeologists, even art professors actually enlist in the military just to save some of the artifacts during the war against Hitler. Okay, so now let's go into the 3 categories to see what I thought about this movie. First, we're going to go in the plot. Now, I'm going to give this a 3. This was actually a pretty good plot, and it makes it better that this was based off of some real events in history. To have a team of guys, it's a little bit unorthodox to have a team of some older gentlemen to actually go into dangerous climates within an actual war just to save some paintings and some of the precious artifacts within our history. It was interesting and it was a little bit educational. Now I'm going to go to the acting. I'm going to give this also a 3. Now this has got a great cast. All of them are pretty well known. So this acting, I wasn't surprised. Nothing that really just threw me. There were some funny points, of course, with Bill Murray, John Goodman. You're going to get some pretty good humor there. But all in all, I'm going to give the acting a 3. And lastly, entertainment. I'm going to give this also a 3. I was struggling to give this a 2.5, but I'm going to go with a 3 just for entertainment. This actually is a movie that kind of resonated personally with me. I've actually lived in Europe, so just to see them in that setting in Europe and just trying to salvage some of the artifacts that Hitler and his army was either trying to capture and to keep or to destroy, just to kind of throw a shot at us being their enemy. It was a little rough, but just to see some men dedicated and actually risking their lives to save it, it was pretty good on a historical standpoint. So I'm going to give the entertainment a 3. Something I wouldn't mind seeing again, actually. But hey, you've heard it from me, but I'm also let you hear it from some viewers who saw the movie as well. Have a viewer who's going to answer a few questions for me, see what he thought about the film. State your name, please. Xavier, we just saw The Monuments Men. What did you think about the movie, the story overall?
I thought overall it was pretty good. I mean, it's less about the war, more about the art, but I mean, it was pretty good.
Would this be a movie that you would recommend others to see, and if so, or if not, why?
I think I'd recommend it to certain people. I mean, the people that I know would be into this type of thing. I wouldn't recommend it to guys that are like Rambo fans or anything like that, but if you're into the more introspective kind of stuff, yeah, sure.
Okay, now would this be something that you would classify as entertaining? Would it be something that you wouldn't mind seeing again yourself personally? What about that?
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining. I mean, it's got a little bit of comedy, it's got some history stuff, so yeah, it was definitely entertaining.
What do you think would be the best part about this movie for you personally?
The best part? I just like John Goodman. And Bill Murray's pretty good too. So, yeah.
So just the comedy that some of the characters brought in. You pretty much like the story. So it would be something as far as just what was brought into the movie for this for you.
Yeah. I like when you lighten up some pretty serious stuff with a little bit of comedy. I mean, not to take away from what happened because we all know it was terrible. But I mean, it's nice to have a couple laughs here and there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, definitely. Well, there you have it. Again, we have somebody who definitely saw this film, and they're giving it a go. So you should definitely check it out as well. I'm Montrell. This is my friend Xavier. Hey, and you've heard it here first. Word of mouth show. I'm your host, Montrell. I have 2 viewers who've also just seen The Monuments Men. Can you state your name, please?
Suzanne.
Mike.
Thank you, Suzanne and Mike. So I would like to ask both of you. You just saw Monuments Men. What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was wonderful.
I thought it was a great movie. Great.
Would you recommend this to others if they wanted to see the movie?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, especially some younger people who don't see much about the war that close up.
Was that your favorite part of the movie, just the war and some of the events that took place?
Well, no, I think it told a part of the war that most people don't even think happened. They wouldn't even realize it was going on.
Well, that's true, because I definitely had no idea this was going on, but I thought it was interesting. What about you, Susan?
I agree. It was wonderful.
Okay, so what would you say was the best part about this movie for you?
I'm interested in art, and I've been to a lot of museums in Europe, and I appreciate the fact that they were saved. So much was saved. I didn't realize it was very educational.
What about you? What would you say was the best part about the movie for you?
Well, I like the story, but I think the cinematography, the filming of it, the black and white versus, the standard blast of color we get in most things all the time, I think it made the events of the movie stand out more than special effects.
So you would say that this would be a movie that you would see again, maybe even own if you had the chance?
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Well, you heard it from 2 viewers here. They loved the movie. They thought it was educational. And some of us young folks, we definitely need to come and see this. Take a break from the blockbusters. Let's see something educational, enriching, and also something that's based off true events. Again, I'm Montrell. I do thank you, Susan. I know you didn't. I know you were a little fearful.
Very entertaining, too. It was very entertaining as well.
I thought it was great.
It wasn't like a documentary. It was very entertaining.
So again, even though it was based off true events, still, we all loved it. It's entertaining. You should go see it too. The Word of Mouth Show, I'm Montrell. Thank you very much. Well, there you have it, the word from the viewers. All seemed to think it was a pretty great movie, educational, interesting, and had some good historical content that we all should appreciate. Just to dial back to some of the things that I said before, entertainment, I gave that a 3. Acting, also gave that a 3. And lastly, the plot, also a 3. Do the math, I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 5. Definitely something you can appreciate, and it's something good for all of us to take a look at and just see what happened in our history that we probably had no clue about. Great acting and a pretty good story, just to say how some heroes can really be unlikely. Well, that's it for today. Again, I'm your host, Montrell. Word of Mouth Show. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. And next week, RoboCop. Y'all stay tuned. I'll see you next time.